Yeah, right over.
You can climb straight over top of the seat. Just gotta balance it out. There you go.
That up.
While we're going quick, we kind of have to keep it balanced when we get done. You can go back down there and do one bigger step there. Ma'am, you're going to lose those glasses.
Really?
Those glasses will pull straight off the top of your head. I would suggest either putting them on or holding them because they will pull right off the top of your
They
head.
stuck on my hair. It's
Okay.
okay.
That's fine. I just want to make sure.
Okay. them, don't you?
No, not quite yet. Oh.
I'm terrified.
There was a nest of little bitty baby birds in here earlier.
Oh, really?
Yep. But I don't see them. They might be hiding there a little bit. Only about this big. They're just born. Folks, welcome to the beautiful West Lake Toho. And if you want to take those off, you can.
Should I?
Oui, oui.
Yeah, take it. Attends.
Welcome to the beautiful West Lake Toho. We are actually the headwaters of the Everglades. She's somewhere. We are the headwaters of the Everglades. 3 miles this way, we have a tributary called Shingle Creek. That's actually where the Everglades truly start at. We've had people come through and put dies in the water to measure where it actually started at, and it starts right over here and goes all the way down to South Florida. From this point right here, I can go 267 miles south and never hit dry land and be in the actual true Everglades headwaters. We've got the same vegetation, the same animal life. It's way up here, they're way down there. We can go up and never touch dry land. We have to stop for fuel, but we can definitely do it. Alrighty, we've got about 600 different forms of what we call invertebrates. It's something with a backbone. We've got everything from little guppies in the water up to alligators. Now let me guess, you don't want to see snakes, you don't want to see alligators. You're on the wrong book. That's pretty much what we're looking for. We've got turtles, we've got alligators, we've got fish. So far as fish is concerned, we have our 2 biggest species that we have around here are tilapia and bass. This is the #1 bass producing lake in the world. The lake is actually several miles out that way. This is what we call Goblet's Cove. This is part of the lake, but this is one separate entity from the lake. Everything that you see around you is water. Where you see an actual tree line is where it actually gets dry. We got about 5,000 acres right here of what we call a nature preserve. What that means is house over on the backside. Nobody lives out here. And the only reason they're there is because they haven't sold. The county ain't give them enough money yet. The canal we just come up was actually developed in when the Civil War was finished, they had 2 guys from Pennsylvania to come down here, seen all the trees and the hardwood we had. They were supplying the lumber to these towns that were being built. So they come down here, they dug all of the canals. Where y'all loaded the boat at used to be an old sugar cane field that was sitting right there. That's where they did a lot of their logging operations at. They kept bringing their horse and buggies down here to get the trees out. They just kept sinking, so they come down here and build all the canals. Now they're used for navigation and flood control. If y'all were here in the wintertime, alligators would be on the diet. They're all over the place. They will let you get right up next to them, and they don't really care. This time of year, we've got what happens calls the drawdown. The drawdown is they drop the lake levels in the Central Florida from this area to South Florida. They drop the lake levels somewhere between 3 and 4 foot, depending on how bad they think the hurricanes are going to be that year. The reason for that is if we get a couple storms, we will get 3 or 4 foot of water right now, and they're trying to reduce flooding. That's the reason for that. So a lot of places where I can go in the wintertime, in the spring, and in the fall, I cannot right now, which is probably good for y'all too, because it will be big alligators. 15 foot alligators, big as the boat.
Can they come on
No,
the boat?
they're not going. Can they? Yes. Will they? No.
Okay, good.
No, they're not going to come to boat. The snakes, the alligators, the snakes, the turtles. I did have a fish jump in the boat the other day, which was rather exciting to see everybody try to park on the waves trying to get to the other side of the boat. But I had one tilapia jump up and actually land in the boat. It was rather amusing. The people on the boat did not find it funny, and I laughed my butt off. We've got several different birds out here that we want to keep our eyes open for. Normally sitting on top of that dead oak right there, we have a couple of bald eagles. We have the highest concentration of bald eagles anywhere in the country. On this lake alone, we've got over 250 mating pair of bald eagles. field. The ladies back in the 1800s and 1900s, they had the big peacock feather hats, the big huge hats that had the big peacock feathers. That bird, if you got closer to it, has very bright blue, green, and purple feathers on it. It's actually a very pretty bird. That's the little feathers that they use to go around the hat is the reason why that bird's extinct. We've got another one out here called a snail kite. Everybody refers to it as a Everglades hawk. Their primary food source is this little buddy right here. It's called an apple snail. Now this is actually a small one. They will get to be about this big. It's just a snail. They're on the bottom of the lake. They will come up and get oxygen. You will see the bird flying over. And when they come up to get oxygen, he'll just reach down, grab it, take it off, eat it.
Oh my God.
They're also the favorite food of what a bird called the limpkin. Now, since I've gotten a boat full of adults, I can tell you flat out, the limpkin will pick these up the same way that the Glades hawk does. He'll poke a hole in it to suck the snail out. What the male will do when he's finished eating is he will take an area like this right here. Matter of fact, you can see one. He'll take it, he'll start piling those up. And he will actually sit right there and get a whole pile of those going. And the female will fly over. When the female flies over, if she likes the size of his pile, she'll mate with him. That's how mating out here goes. If they like the size of your pile, they're going to mate with you. If she don't like the size of the pile, she just keep going until she finds another pile. But they will pile them all up. And that's how that one goes. I'll throw that down there. I meant to grab one and throw the other one down. We have a lot of different vegetation out here. Those are called that's a turkey vulture. That's a dragonfly. The little black ones that you see down here, right over there, that's called a lotus. That's a nut that's actually very good for you. It's very good for the heart. It's one of the more expensive nuts that they actually have. It's now coming into season, so that one's an old one left over from last year. It looks like a beehive, but it's not. Alrighty, what I'm going to do is we'll get started with another one sitting over there. Any questions? No. You've got the expensive camera, he don't. If y'all want to trade seats, the only reason that I put one of y'all up there is just so I can keep the boat balanced. If one of y'all want to trade seats, it's fine. If you